Hello, I'm Toycat, and recently I came to the conclusion that there are some Minecraft seeds that are just objectively better than others. And the thing that led me to that conclusion was because recently I found a Minecraft seed that was so amazing for speedrunning in so many different ways. I mean, look at this spawn area for one, then look at the fact that right next to spawn, there is this exposed lava pit surrounded by water on all sides, kind of beautiful, but also very useful for speedrunning. Then next to this lava pit, there is both a desert temple and a desert village. Not to mention that just a couple hundred blocks south of that lava pool with all of that stuff nearby, there's also an ocean monument, very handy for the 4-bus run that I've been doing a lot of recently. Top this off with a pillager raid tower which spawns right here in the middle of another village in addition to the ones from earlier. Made absolutely perfect by the incredible luck of having a portal which has 4 IF enders already pre-filled. Again, for Minecraft Bedrock right now with no seed searching tools, that is one of the highest we've found on any seed, which means that yeah, 4 IF enders gives you a 1/3 head start towards getting to the end, made even better by the fact that all you have to do is dig a little down, literally just a few blocks in this case below where the end portal is, and you'll find yourself in 2 separate rooms. One of the rooms is going to give you access to an ender pearl, as you can see, and the other one of the rooms, if you would believe this, is also somehow going to give you access to an ender pearl. 2 more free ender pearls. Plus, it gets even better because all you have to do is go halfway up this staircase, break your way through the wall, and if you're not going to believe this, there is actually a 3rd ender pearl over here. Basically, my point is this seed is incredible for speedrunning. This seed is incredible for anyone really because of its great attributes in every other way. Add that onto the fact that this stronghold is actually below a village which is just a few hundred blocks away from spawn, well below the average for how far you have to go to an end portal, and all of a sudden we're talking about a seed that was incredible for speedrunning and allowed me to do a lot of speedruns for Minecraft Bedrock, which were a lot of fun and which encouraged people to do the same because this seed was so much better than anything that had been found, and I assumed that was this seed's core purpose. It had amazing luck near the center, but I assumed that luck would fade as you went outwards because with most Minecraft seeds, you can find something amazing somewhere on the seed if you look close enough, right? That's why even though there's a wooden mansion on this seed, I don't count it because it's literally 17,000 blocks away. No one's traveling 17,000 blocks for a mansion, because of a seed video or because of a great seed, but what you might consider traveling is just a few hundred blocks away from the spawn because there are even more incredible things that I've discovered in the weeks since I first found this seed, and I figured I couldn't do without sharing all of that with you today. So if you want to see my favorite Minecraft seed I found for Minecraft Bedrock so far, that's what I'm doing in today's video. The seed is going to be on screen right now. If you type in that seed, you will spawn right here into a plains biome, which is perfectly, between a desert biome and a savanna biome. So within literally 3 seconds of spawn, you can be in any of those 3 biomes, which are all great biomes in their own right, which also have great access to food, trees, any of the basics that you need in your Minecraft world. And yeah, from there you can get a few different caves. One I've discovered for the speedrun is this one right here, which again has really easy access to iron, not just over here, which is a vein of, it's actually 2 veins combined, so you get a ludicrous amount of iron just over here. As you can see, I've already mined one, but there's still a lot to find. There's like just under 16 bits of iron over here, but there are more and more bits as you go deeper into the cave. So if you want to get yourself a full suit of armor, even if you want to get yourself an anvil as well, you can do that within a few seconds of spawning. But I'm going to talk about things I haven't mentioned on the speedrun videos because it just hasn't been able to come up, because again, just a few hundred blocks to the east of spawn, a direction I haven't been going for a few weeks, you'll find a lot of other interesting things. Like for instance, this ravine found over here. This is a ravine which you'll find in your desert at these coordinates right here, and it's a pretty nice ravine. It's going to give you access to diamonds, all the good fun stuff that ravines can sometimes do. But the thing that makes this quite unique is the fact that there is just poking out right there like a piece of lava which is glitched in the way that it spawns. So there's a source block up here and a lot of other blocks around here. If you touch any of these blocks, they will start to spew all over the place. But the reason I find the lava so interesting is because it's glitched in a way that can't attack you. You can walk right past it, but it has done so in a way that creates enough light to stop the skeleton spawner from activating. That's really nice because it means you can get straight access to these chests, both of which have golden apples, also with a bucket and a saddle, all the essentials really for the rare Minecraft loot you can only find right there. That's really nice. Again, it's kind of the game giving it to you. You might not like that, but just in case you do, heading to the other side of the seed will give the exact same benefit, because if we head west of the original pillager outpost, the one inside the village that started this whole thing and the one that makes this run so incredibly handy. Look, there's a guy with an enchanted crossbow. manning the fort even. But if we head just a little bit to the west of that, then what you'll find is, guess what? Another of Minecraft's rare structures, in addition to all the ones we found so far, just chilling at the very edge of a swamp. This is super, super handy. You get yourself a black cat, you get yourself a witch, you get yourself a, cauldron filled with a potion. That's a Bedrock exclusive because the seed, fun fact, is only for Bedrock. And that is really nice, but it gets even better because in this same swamp, something I just found because I was playing around with, looking around all the caves around here, just so I could, find one that would be so interesting. I looked in a random cave just while I was playing this seed because it's a great seed. And what did I find at the end of that cave? That's right, there's a skeleton spawner just exposed in a cave right here. Another one, by the way. Skeleton spawners are hard to come by because they're only 25% of all spawners, which means if you want an arrow farm, because that's how most people choose to get arrows, it can be tricky to find one, but this seed spoils you for choice by giving you not just one, but 2 skeleton spawners, and it's even better than that, because skeleton spawners, they're one of the few blocks you can't move around. Even with Silk Touch, you can't pick up a monster spawner, and I think that's probably for the best, given how Minecraft works. But the interesting thing about this is it means that you can get a monster spawner this many blocks below the surface. I mean, you literally, if you want to, you can light it up with the surface, or you can make easy access to there, but the fact that you have a skeleton spawner at 55 blocks up is really rare. The fact that you have 2 of them at this layer is even better. This is really nice. This is incredible. This makes this seed great, not just for the free fun things which you'll need for, again, if you want to make a witch farm, if you want to make a pillager farm, if you want to make anything like that, but also it makes it great for getting skeleton farms, a underappreciated asset because you can't find skeleton spawners using the command. But it gets even better, because if we head even further west than this, if we go through the entirety of the swamp biome, beyond just finding pumpkins, which is nice by itself, beyond the birch forest biome, beyond the plains that you'll see over here, you'll eventually start to spot some extreme mountains. These are a really fun biome to find by themselves. I'm sure we'll all agree, if we can find them by themselves. Oh wow, I found the buried treasure by accident. And we found a spawner because of this bug. Okay, so that was not intentional, but I just found you some buried treasure, and I found you a mob spawner. We didn't before just now. So that bug revealed something which I found later on in this Seed Sunday, by the way. This is me being shocked in addition to how shocked I was in the first place. This is 3 layers of shock right here. We have a spawner for zombies with 2 chests, by the way, both which are functional, haven't been removed, in the middle of an abandoned mineshaft below an extreme hills. These are incredibly valuable when you find them here, because if you want to find emerald the ore, which is, if you want the ore block, it's the only way to get it, is to mine it with a Silk Touch pickaxe. This is a perfect place to go to find such a thing. You also can get a bunch of chests in here. Whether that's your thing or not is up to you. But the fact that you can find this whole place, right here below an extreme mountains is incredible. And I find this to be almost unbelievable, given this exact thing occurs elsewhere in the seed. To find this twice in a row is just nutty in my opinion. Like, for real, check these coordinates right here just so you can confirm this is a very much different spawner. This is at 1078 and 452, or check the top left. I always have coordinates for Seed Sunday, so if you want to load up these seeds yourself, which is some of the point of this, you can do precisely that. But if we head to the northwest, again, very different coordinates right here, but it's the exact same thing. It's a mine shaft being interrupted by a mob spawner which coincidentally is entirely intact and which can give you your golden apple, your bucket, your saddles, your free stuff that by now you should have gone for one of the other ones. But still, that is incredible that abandoned mineshaft plus village happens twice in the same seed. Because bear in mind, this is also coincidentally enough, or happily enough, for those of you who want to take advantage of it, it also happens to be just below a village, as you can see. So yeah, a village in addition to the mob spawner and abandoned mineshaft, and also the village goes through a ravine. Depending on which version you play, the ravine seems to appear in different places sometimes. It's something I want to investigate and work out, like, why are seeds so different between versions? Let's dive into that another time. But for now, let's talk about the fact that, hey, next to this village, there's also a second pillager outpost. Pillager outposts can be pretty rare. Finding these if you want to get your pillager raid started can be a tricky thing to do. But right here, guess what? There's a second one. So just in case you mess up the first one, you burn it down, or you forget where it is, I mean, it's in a village, you shouldn't. Then here's a second one, which is handy, which is, by the way, next to 2 villages, because there's another village over here. This village isn't so notable, but to bring this one back to the mountains, which have the mob spawner inside of the abandoned mineshaft, let's point out the fact that just over here, you can find another rare structure, the below water ruins, or the underwater ruins. I would say underwater, like, you can find them on every seed anywhere, but finding them above water is a pretty rare occurrence, so to see this happen twice, pretty darn cool. Also, I don't know why this is, it's a weird glitch, but when you remove any of these blocks, even though there's no water anywhere else, they just magically get filled with water, and that is very, very strange in my opinion. If you know why this is, then look, it's It seems to be coming from behind that sand, but this isn't how water physics work as best I understand. I mean, tell me if you disagree, internet, but there's water in this block that doesn't seem to vanish. What am I doing so horribly wrong? How is the water just appearing and reappearing? I don't know. This is outside of my remit of understanding. But if you know, let me know, because these aren't stairs. I thought like maybe they're stair blocks. Maybe that's what the solution is. Nope, there's just water trapped inside here, and it always will be there, it seems. But the seed does get even better in the way of villages. This is something I realized because during a run I was just like, oh, I desperately need to get some more emeralds. I need more villagers because this one doesn't spawn with enough villagers. So I headed to the north and I found 2 more villagers within a pretty decent distance. Again, it's surprisingly handy just how close both of the next villagers are. There's one found just to the north over here. As you can see, this is a nice savannah village. It's a really long village with a lot of wheat farmers, a lot of just villagers who can trade, basic things with you in exchange for your stuff. It's nice, it's easy, it's great. But it's even better than that because as well as having just all of these guys and also brand new villagers means brand new chests, brand new free things, sometimes including a saddle. Why is that villager storing a saddle inside of his house? I mean, the only reason I can think of is he wants to make a open-faced saddle sandwich, but he doesn't even have a second piece of bread, so it's not even the best reasoning. There are more chests inside the village, like this one over here. This is a villager that knows how to make a sandwich, a bread sandwich, I guess. Or maybe, I guess, a sapling sandwich. That isn't tasty at all. I mean, maybe he's vegan. That's fair. But yeah, otherwise, the reason I think this village is so handy is because just to the north of it, as you can see, we have this wonderful, savannah slash forest mountainy biome. It's not actually meant to be a mountain. Usually when you see a biome like this, it's like, oh yeah, it's extreme hills, right? No, this is just an extreme mountain that's generated as part of a forest biome, and that is a rare, unique thing to see at this height. Again, this is terrain operating in a way you do not usually expect to see, and because it's combined between a savanna and a forest, you can get this really, really beautiful kind of pattern going on here, and it's nice that you could live so close to a giant village and have such cool well-built terrain. Just kind of add to the fact that this seed has cool terrain in addition to all the free structures that it throws at you, because oh yeah, if we head back into the desert that you find in this direction, which is really close to spawn, oh yeah, also over here there's another village that's really easy to get to. This village is next to a couple of lava pits, one of those lava pits in a desert temple, so free loot times 4, a village that is giant as far as desert villages go, found just over here too. By the way, there's another village pretty close to that original one that has saved my life in one of the runs at the very least, and it's really cool because this village, as well as just being an interesting enough village by itself, I mean, it does have some free loot found all over the place that you can take if you want some bread and a map. Want to make a map sandwich, you can do it right there. But also, you're going to notice how this village goes for a ravine as well. How nice, how wonderful. What a cool little additional feature. But mostly what this seed offers you is a really great blend of the 3 greatest Minecraft biomes. If you're trying to beat Minecraft and trying to take advantage of it, the 3 biomes that will objectively give you the most stuff are the plains biome, the desert biomes, and the savanna. And the fact that this seed seems to blend so seamlessly between those 3, while also giving you the option, if you want them, not too far away from spawn, for the swamps, for the forests, for the mountains, that's something I love, that's something I find really great, and that is why this seed is incredible. It is so, again, when you are playing Minecraft to beat the game, getting free stuff from your seed is a really nice benefit. That's kind of some of the point of set seed. Getting a lot of free stuff is a great benefit, and getting pretty much a non-stop series of just things, offerings from the game is something that is hard to turn down by anyone's standards. But yeah, this is kind of the end of this one. Or is it? Because did you know this seed is great not just for the overworld, but it gets better in the nether than we thought as well. Because you might recall how the nether on this seed is really, quite a useful thing. The nether fortress is pretty close to where you would spawn in with a nether portal if you use the closest lava to spawn. That's really handy, that's really great. It's something we've taken advantage of. I mean, the loot inside of it is something that we, have learned a little bit more about. Again, most of the time, it will generate with some horse armor in this chest, and then it will generate with a saddle alongside some gold in this chest over here. As we can see, golden saddle, how nice. And then there should be a third chest, which is within easy access, which will give you access to even more free things. In this case, some gold chest plates, some obsidian, a saddle, again, just the basics really. But this is a really great nether because it doesn't just have the one nether fortress, which, again, nether fortresses, they're not rare. You're going to find them in every nether multiple times, but to find 2 so close to one another, again, as soon as you leave the render distance for that one, which isn't a very high render distance in the Nether, literally, you know, less than 100 blocks away from it, you can already see the next one starting to generate just over here. 2 Nether fortresses that close together is so incredibly useful, especially when you're trying to find all the wither skeletons you can. So yeah, 2 Nether fortresses side by side, super close, really great, right? But also this same first Nether fortress that we, you know, spawn so close to is also not that far away from a third one. I mean, it's a pretty perilous journey to get there, I'll admit very freely, but just a few hundred blocks this way, you find yourself a third Nether fortress. Again, if you want a lot of wither skeletons, because spawning in Minecraft Bedrock until 1.16 is busted, even there, it's not perfectly like Java just yet, meaning that finding wither skeletons, blazes in huge quantities without spawners, which you can only find you know, for blazes, so finding wither skeletons, finding other mobs can be tricky in large quantities, which is why finding lots of Nether fortresses is the current workaround to that. Do I wish it was a better workaround? Maybe. Do I secretly wish that having a 4th Nether fortress close to spawn wasn't a essential thing to make a seed great for speedrunning and for really anything else? Because if you want a lot of beacons, you need to kill a lot of wither skeletons, and there's no particularly easy way to farm them right now. Yeah, of course, I wish that. But for now, I think this is a really great little compromise. I think having a seed with this many you know, spawners is great, and that is why at some point in the nearest future, this is still probably our best bet for, you know, any form of beating Minecraft fast or beating the Wither fast run. And that's why, you know, in addition to a lot of the things we've been trying already, beating Minecraft start to finish, beating all 4 bosses that we attempt maybe, you know, like once or twice a week or so, I want to try another kind of category, which is trying to defeat the, you know, Wither without using tools. I feel like, you know, like no tool, no armor, etc. Run off the Wither would be a fun thing to see. And if you agree, let me know in the comments down below. Because, again, having access, if you're not using looting, it can be really tricky to get the Wither skeletons you need. But if you have enough Nether fortresses, that, you know, problem kind of goes away. So that is the plan for today. Is it a bad plan? I guess you can tell me. But all I know is I hope you will enjoy today's video. I hope you got some value from it. I hope you enjoy my Nether, which, I mean, I don't know if this is valuable to you, but there's a lot of glowstone on the ceiling. I thought that was like a weird 1.16 thing, but, I mean, it's up there if you want to get it. There's some glowstone you can get, more than I feel like I see on average. Although, maybe I just don't look enough for ceilings. I'll admit, most of the things in this video, I look at a lot and I'm like, yeah, that's easy. With glowstone, though, it's like, you know what? How often does glowstone spawn? You don't really think about it on a new seed, but you should. And speaking of things you should do, I don't know, wash your hands, have a nice day. Remember to like the video or favorite or subscribe or whatever YouTube's tell you. Because if you don't hit that bell, you know what's coming for you. I mean, literally nothing, because, I mean, the bell is just how you can decide what content comes to you on the YouTube homepage. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Oh, broke my portal. Sad.